Hey, welcome to the Art of the Budget. My name's Nicole, and I'm an artist and educator who, until recently, didn't really have control of my money and wasn't really planning for the future. And so I turned to YouTube, and I learned so much from so many people on this channel, like Budget Girl, One Big Happy. And Miss Be Helpful, just to name a few. Those are some of my favorites that I decided to also do a channel. And one of my favorite things is to watch people's monthly budgets, and so I decided to begin with to do that. So we're going to go over my November budget for 2018, and I'm just going to go through what my budget plan is, and then I will be back to do a budget report at the end of the month, and maybe some check-ins between here and there, but I basically do everything kind of monthly, so I'm not sure if there will be a reason to check in later in the month. So let's go ahead and look at November 2018. I have a full-time job, and I also adjunct teach at the same place. So this is my pay for both of those things. And it is also before taxes and before insurance and before investments come out. So this is my whole paycheck. I like to log everything every month. So for things like percentages, like how much is my housing percentage, this and that might throw it off a little bit. And if you have any questions about what it is for my take-home pay, you could do the math. Also, I'm happy to share. But for me, I just like to look at what each thing is every single month. So art sales, as I said, I'm an artist. I'm not a particularly commercial artist or commercially successful artist, so I do most art and teaching and other things through my taxes as a hobby, but I'm hoping to learn more as I'm working on this and doing this channel. So art sales, I don't anticipate any art sales this month, although sometimes they do happen. Community teaching income, I do teach here at a local folk school, and I have a few people enrolled in my class. So this is I hope, a conservative estimate of how much I'll make from that class this month. Reimbursements, not planning on any right now. Sometimes I have to do pickups at work, and I get reimbursed for gas and mileage. Interest income, we will see. It's usually a couple bucks. I use a bank called Simple, and it's actually an app, and they're part of a bigger bank, but they're pretty cool. They're totally free. There's no fees at all. And if you have $2,000 or more in your savings account, they do about 2% interest, which is, I think, the highest right now. But there is a minimum, so just keep that in mind. But it's a pretty cool bank, especially if you're trying to get out of those big box banks. I got them years back when I was trying to get out of one of those huge banks that was supporting things that I didn't politically agree with, and so that's when I found Simple. Gifts, not anticipating any. Every once in a while I do get one, like on my birthday month or something. And then cash back, I do use credit cards for travel rewards. I'm not planning to cash anything out though, because I'm pushing all that towards upcoming travel. All right, my rent is $1,100. I do have an extra bedroom, and I do plan in the new year to start renting it. I did rent it last year, but I just needed some time on my own. So I'm planning to cut this cost a little bit in the new year. Electricity, not usually this much, but this is what I estimate. It's usually a little less. Mobile phone, it's actually usually less, but in October I was traveling, and so typically at work or at home I'm in Wi-Fi, so my plan is perfect, but sometimes when I'm traveling I have to pay a little more because I go over in data, and that's fine. That really works for me, so it'll be a little more this month. Internet is $79.99. I'm not anticipating any miscellaneous costs. Gas is typically about $100. It's usually a little bit less, so that number is pretty spot on. Sometimes I'll make that higher if I know I'm going to be driving a lot, but I actually just drive to and from work a couple miles every day, and that's pretty much it. Groceries, I set my budget at $200. It could definitely be a lot more, and it usually does go over, but while I like things to be spot on with groceries, I just keep it at 200 and hope that will make me go over less. Restaurants is about $100. This is really hit or miss. Sometimes I will use it all, and sometimes I don't go anywhere near using it. It just depends what's going on. And so these two, I kind of like, I want them to be separate because they are separate things, but they sort of go together in that if I use less here, I might use more here. Sorry, I have just a little tail end of a cough. So personal money, I actually don't usually give myself personal money, and I almost always use personal money. So I've decided to start putting that in my budget, so $50. And then household money, I usually allocate a little less, but I've got some stuff I need to stock up on, so $40 it is. Medical and health, I do go to therapy twice a month when I can, and I pay $30 copay for each of those. And then I also go to a gym and take a class with a Health at Every Size coach, and that's about $80 for 4 classes. So that's what I include here. I work in an art studio, so I do a lot of heavy lifting, and I really like to keep up with my exercise because I run less risk of being injured that way from like my daily activities. And I don't love the gym, and I don't believe in diet culture. So this Health at Every Size coaching situation is really great for me. And the organization I go to, the coach I go to, their project is called Big Fun Fitness. So definitely check it out. And entertainment, $8.69, that's Hulu. All right, so studio, like I said, basically I just run this as a hobby. I'm really stocked up on materials and that kind of stuff right now. The only thing I really have is just my $2 for Google Drive. Okay, and insurance and tax. Auto insurance $103.70. It's the same whether I pay it 6 months at a time or monthly. I've checked into that, and at a certain point I'll probably be able to pay it 6 months at a time, and so I will. But right now I just pay it monthly. My renter's insurance, I actually paid it all at once for the year, and then I just put this $8 in a sinking fund every month. Health insurance comes out of my paycheck. It's $78, and it will go up in January. I think $10 or maybe more. Federal taxes, they were $688 last month. We'll see what they are this month. Same with all of this other stuff that comes out of my paycheck. And then union dues, this is what they were last month, but they're a little messy right now. I'm 100% union. I pay the full union dues for my full-time job. But there was some confusion because I was getting paid for my part-time job at the same place, and so they're just adjusting it right now. So that might be a little loopy for the next month or two. Investment, my Roth IRA. Roth IRA means that I put the money in there after taxes, so it is just sitting there growing or not growing. It's invested money that's growing in tax-free until I need to use it, and then I will never have to pay. Taxes have already been paid, so I'll never have to pay taxes on it. And that's different than a traditional IRA because that is pre-tax. And there are definitely benefits to both, so if you're interested in that, do the research, let me know. I'm happy to talk about it a little bit more and why I chose Roth IRA. So I contribute to this to supplement my jobs retirement plan, and I've just upped my contribution from $150 to $225. My goal is to up it to $458 in the new year, which would allow me to max my IRA. That's $550 that single people can contribute per year. So my PEERS 2, that's my government job. Retirement, it's a pension. I put about $300 a month in, and they put some in as well. And then once I'm vested, then I will have access to this pension. I'm not sure if I'll work at this job long enough to be vested. It's a couple years down the road, so it's totally possible. But then again, I could move on. And if that were the case, then that money that I've contributed would roll over into whatever I wanted to roll it over into. So I'm going to move down to debt, and I pay my parents $300 a month. I had the opportunity to move across the country a couple of years ago for the job that I'm doing right now, and they were really kind and helped me out, and they are not charging me interest for what they loaned me, so I'm slow paying them back for right now. In student loans, I pay about $200 a month, and I'm participating in the public service loan forgiveness. So I know this is pretty controversial. For me, it's working out. I've sort of enrolled. I do everything that you need to do. I recertify my employment every year, and I've checked, and the amount of payments I've made is up to date, and the amount of payments I still need to make is up to date. I know some people have had trouble with different parts of it. I don't anticipate this going away for people who are already enrolled, but I know that there have been a lot of problems with it. For me, it seems to be working, and this is what I'm banking on right now. And if that changes, that changes. In terms of this other stuff, it's actually just paid. This watershed thing should be taken care of in October, so this should all go away before the end of the month, but I will keep you guys posted. Basically, I just paid for something on a credit card that didn't have any interest, so that I could pay early, and this is a good example of why you shouldn't do that, because it just took me a little longer than I meant to finish tidying it up. I didn't pay any interest or anything, but it's kind of messy. All right, I'm just gonna move to savings. So emergency fund, this is pretty much what I'll make from adjuncting take home this month, so that will hopefully go all to my emergency fund, which I'm trying to get up to 3 to 6 months before the end of this academic year. Health fund 50, cat fund 100. My cat has been sick, and so I've been switching. I have 2 cats, and they eat the same food. I've been switching their food and taking the one cat to the vet. So the cat thing has been kind of maxing me out lately, so I'm just trying to stuff some money in there so that I don't have to be cash flowing every single month. If things come up, you'll probably see that in my report. We'll see. Travel, I'm not putting anything in there right now, but I will in December. Car fund, $50 a month, obviously just in case something comes up. I try to put a little in there each month. Same with tech fund. Studio fund, this is things like business cards or paying for my website, just little things that come up throughout the year that are pretty affordable, but just like to have the money ready and waiting. When I have a housemate, this is the bank account that their deposit just sits in until they move out. Gifts, not putting any money in there right now. Christmas is pretty chill with my family. We do a Secret Santa, and so I'll probably put a little bit in there in December. And then the me fund is just in case I get a gift, like in my birthday month or something, of cash. And then I just like to hold on to it till I can use it for something that's really special. Doesn't happen very often, but every once in a while it does. And then last but not least, intersectional feminism. I guess other people would call this giving or tithing. For me, I use this section, and part of the reason I want to become financially literate and stable is so that I can be supporting people that I admire and work that I admire. So right now, this is a little bit inaccurate. I should fix this. Okay, so I am currently have like a recurring debit to Patreon every month and for $15, and this is to support a few different people that I admire. It's specifically women and femmes of color doing work that I admire, because as a white woman I benefit from a lot of that work that folks do for free, and so this is a very, very small start, but I'm trying to increase this. And then this month I also started a $5 monthly deduction to the Trans Lifeline, because they're just doing really important work that I want to support. So this is a pretty small percentage of my income that is going to different intersectional feminist causes. I'm hoping to keep increasing that, especially after I meet some of my big goals. And then just to be clear, this is what's automatically deducted every month. I also try to monthly donate to something, whether that's artwork or that's donations through projects I'm doing, or supporting different people's projects that they're working on, maybe by buying their artwork. So Usually it's a little bit more by the end of the month, but for now, this is my automatic deduction. So anyway, that's my budget for the month, and I will see you at the end of November to talk about how I did. Oh, I just realized that I will add this to my emergency fund so that I get awkward. Right, so I get an every dollar budget. Okay, have a great day, and thanks for visiting the Art of the Budget.